You see this all the time, people texting while they drive. Maybe you've done it, but what you're about to see should convince you never to do it again. News 13's Jessica Garatay went on a driving test with texters, and she is live in downtown Albuquerque tonight with the story. Jess?
Well, even if you look away just a second to text, some reports show you become more of a danger than a drunk driver.
Been doing better, but I still do it about every day.
I try not to, but probably more often than I should.
Unfortunately, I do. Occasionally, I do text while driving.
To be honest, a little bit.
So what kind of danger are these texting drivers putting themselves and others in? We put 5 people through a texting test, including one of our campaign sponsors, Rio Grande Federal Credit Union, using the Albuquerque Police Department's driving course. While texting, drivers will need to make a curve, go the correct speed, and if a cone is knocked down, that means they swerved out of their lane. The results, surprising for each.
I thought I would do a lot better than I did. I thought I was a great multitasker.
Mandon Danner failed, taking out a whole row of cones. David Marquez took this curve way too fast. Danya Dorman was going too slow and crashed into cones. Then, some shockers.
You actually did better while you were texting. You were speeding, you didn't hit any cones, so.
All right, driver, go.
And the absolute worst driver while texting? Nikki Ingram, the only driver who never texts while driving. She was everywhere.
I did horrible. I ran over several rows of the cones at once, and I was definitely speeding.
Every driver was either speeding or going way too slow.
I thought I was going too fast. More
you were
than
actually
20.
going 20 under the speed limit.
Oh. See, that shows I had no idea about the speed at all.
While texting, I think it was harder to maintain the speed limit.
Hardly remembered exactly what course I went through because I was texting so much.
It was tough, and I felt very distracted when I was texting and driving.
Just how distracted? We asked an officer with APD's traffic unit.
There's been several studies done that when you take your eyes off of the roadway for 2 seconds during a 6-second period, you're 300% more likely to be involved in a crash.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says drivers who text are 6 times more likely to cause a crash than a drunk driver. When texting, the driver's steering capability goes down 91%.
There's only so much attention you can pay to any particular task. When you start multiplying those tasks, there's less and less attention available to the driving.
These drivers say they'll be putting down their phones when they're in their cars.
So potentially I could have hit another car to the side of me, or I could have run over a curb or something worse. The cones could be a kid, you know, that pops out in the middle, so definitely need to focus all my attention on driving.
This 4,000-pound missile is going down the road. 40 miles an hour, traveling at almost 60 feet per second. It's a lot of damage can be done.
And Governor Susana Martinez, along with KRQE News 13 and Casa Fox 2, have launched a campaign aimed at the growing number of people who text while driving. Now, you can pick up these thumb bands here at our station to remind you to put down your phone while you're behind the wheel. Also, you can sign a pledge to stop texting while driving. Go to krqe.com. Dick?
All right, Jess. Adults, by the way, are just as guilty as teens when it comes to this. A study shows 27% of all adults have sent or read text messages while they're behind the wheel, and that's about the same proportion as teens. Also, APD gives out hundreds of citations every year to people who are caught driving and talking on their cell phones without a hands-free device. That is still a big issue. The department does not track how many crashes have been caused by drivers using their cell phones. So this is, you know, a lot of people just shrug this off and think there's no big deal to this, but it's a very big deal.
Dangerous.
Yep, absolutely.